With the coming of the 21st century, many eyes have turned towards Thailand. Here, one local news station covers every aspect of daily Thai life, from economics to popular culture. This is Thai News with your hosts Rick Blaine and Ilsa Laszlo. Here's to reporting to you.
No matter what the future brings as time goes by.
And welcome to Thai News. I am your host, Rick Blaine.
And I am Ilsa Laszlo. Today we are going to be discussing the terrors of poaching in Thailand. Hundreds of animals are killed each year and sold on the black market. Prices of these animals are soaring and profits have never been better for poachers.
Unfortunately, that means these people aren't planning to stop anytime soon. Despite the efforts of the government, poaching is still going strong. In this year alone, 11 rhinos were already killed for their valuable horns, and elephants are constantly being struck down for their valuable tusks.
The ivory tusks are used to make gifts for unsuspecting tourists and sold all over Southeast Asia. Musical instruments also have ivory in them. The keys on pianos, saxophones, and brass instruments can be made of ivory in certain companies. When buying instruments off the internet, do your research on the company and make sure they aren't made of illegal substances. Of course, that is true for buying anything. Elephant tusks encompass about 85% of the black market. The following image may be disturbing to some viewers.
The poachers are slicing off the ear of the elephant in this image to make their goods. However, elephants and rhinos aren't the only animals poached. Crocodile skins are used to make shoes and bags. Tiger skin is used to make clothes. Horrific scenes of tiger deaths are caught on film. Again, the following image may be disturbing to some viewers. This image is of tigers being discovered after they were killed for their hide. The poachers took what they wanted and left the rest in the forest. The tiger's carcass can sell for hundreds of dollars, but when you sell the individual parts, their value can increase to over $20,000. The meat is used in traditional Chinese medicines and sometimes even served at exotic restaurants.
Poaching has become an increasing problem in Thailand. There is not a set number of poachers known, but the income is expected to be over $5 million a year. Poaching has caused over 40 endangered species to become almost extinct.
Only 2,000 elephants are left in the Thai jungles. Only about 40 Asian water buffaloes exist, and a species of deer hasn't been seen for years, leading many to believe it has become totally extinct.
The government has tried to rein in the poachers, but with only the threat of a 3-year jail term and a fine of about $1,000, and the fact that the government is so weak, the poaching is still going strong.
When we come back, we will present an exclusive interview with the poacher turned protector.
Ew! That's gross!
Why are you eating that generic canned fish?
It was the only thing in the cupboard, and my mom ran out of fresh fish.
Try tasty Thai fish. It's straight from the Gulf of Thailand into the can, so it's the freshest fish in all of Thailand.
Hey, that smells really good, and it sounds super fresh. Gee, thanks!
No problem.
Tasty Thai, from the Gulf of Thailand straight to your cupboard.
Thai fish.
And we're back. Tonight we are lucky to have a special guest speak with us about poaching. This individual has given up his life of poaching in order to help the animals instead of hunting them. For privacy reasons, we will refer to this person as Sam.
Hello, Ilsa. Thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, Sam. We understand you used to be a poacher. Why did you do it?
Well, it was really all for the money. Ivory goes for an extremely high price, and so do many animal furs. A lot of companies use the products to make ivory products or fur coats, so the demand is pretty high. I have to say, I did make quite a lot of money in the poaching business.
No surprise there. Now, why did you decide to give up poaching, even when you were coming into so much money?
I was able to find a paying job as a wilderness guide and animal tracker for the Wildlife Conservation Society. A few other men and myself were offered the jobs because we knew the land so well from our poaching experiences.
Very interesting. How fortunate for you. It must be very rewarding to know you are helping such a well-known organization.
Yes, it is.
I understand you were once one of the most wanted poachers in Thailand. Why?
Well, I have poached a lot of animals. I'm sorry to admit I killed at least 70 elephants hunting them for their ivory tusks. I guess I just kept doing it because I needed the money.
much money do you think you made from poaching?
The ivory would sell for about $60 for about 1 pound. I was making almost twice the amount Thai farmers make in a month.
That's quite a lot of money. Did you ever feel any remorse for what you've done?
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I gave it up. I'm ashamed of my actions, but now I'm glad to have left it behind me. I'm proud of what I'm doing now. It feels good knowing that I'm helping the animals I once hunted. It feels more comfortable when I'm walking through the rainforest now as a guide. I feel more at peace.
Interesting. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people who are still poaching out there?
Putting animals on the endangered species list just isn't worth the money. You're only risking getting caught, and you will be fined and put in jail. We need to eliminate poaching. And to everyone else, be aware of the products you buy. Don't buy anything that's made with ivory, animal skins, or fur. It was probably made from poached animals.
Thank you, Sam. It was a pleasure to have you on the show today. When we come back, we'll have another story where our reporters will be on site.
Thank you, Ilsa. I'm glad I could come.
I've been trying to light this fire for ages, but it just won't start. I think the wood might be too wet. I got it from that pit over there. I wish I had some better timber to start this fire with. Whoa, where did you come from?
The forest of Thailand.
Why won't my timber start?
Because you got it from Laos. This is Thailand. So try Thailand's timber. It's the richest, finest, driest timber in all of Southeast Asia. Whether you can use it for fire burning, paper manufacturing, or building, it's definitely the way to go.
Thailand's timber. Better than your neighboring country's timber.
Welcome back. At this very moment, Rick is at the Wildlife Animal Rescue Foundation of Thailand, also known as WARF. What have you discovered, Rick?
Well, there are so many animals here. I'm joined by a special guest. This is Shere Khan, a baby tiger. But don't let his name fool you. He's as sweet as a kitten. This little guy lost his parents to poachers.
Aw, how did he end up at WARF?
He was found by a young couple, and they brought him to the sanctuary. The hope was that they could raise him in an environment as close to his natural one as possible, so he could eventually be released back into the wild. But he became extremely attached to one of the owners, and he will probably live the rest of his life here.
Will he ever become dangerous?
In a few years, no one will be able to touch him, but for now, they take him all over the country in an attempt to educate people about poaching and wildlife conservation. WARF takes any animal that has been hurt or maltreated and attempts to rehabilitate them and release them back into the wild. Their goal is to educate people as much as possible and attempt to reduce the amount of animals killed by poachers.
And how can everyday people help this cause?
WARF is a non-profit organization, and therefore all donations are appreciated. And if anyone wants to learn more, just go to www.warthai.org.
Well, I know I'll be tonight. When we come back, our producer will read a letter sent to us that we agreed should be made public.
Go.
Hey, you down there. What do you know about the animals in your own country of Thailand? Not much. Did you know that 14% of all species of animals in Thailand are endangered? Yes, indeed. Even some types of squirrels and deer found in this very forest are threatened with extinction. Of all the forests in Thailand, you had to walk into this one. Wait, what's that over there? It's a helpless, wounded animal. Now, don't go any nearer. This is a good time to go over some wild animal safety. If you see a wounded animal in the forest, don't ever touch it. It's a better idea to call your local animal control and have them check it out. Thank you. This has been a Thai News public service announcement.
And now for a letter to the editor.
Hello, and welcome to Thai News. I'm the producer here at the Thai News studio. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm here to read and answer 2 questions sent to us by our viewers. The first one reads, I don't live in Thailand. Does poaching still affect me? The answer is yes. Poaching affects everyone. People in Europe and the United States need to know that many of the products in their everyday lives come from Thailand. Buying a product that may have ivory, animal skins, or animal fur encourages poachers because they make a profit from each and every illegal animal product you buy. The next question is, how do I know that I'm buying safe animal products? One solution to that problem would be to talk to the company that manufactures the product if you have doubts. If they're safe animal products, the owner or manager will not hesitate to answer your questions. If the answers are vague or the owner or manager makes you feel uncomfortable about asking the questions, take your business elsewhere. Another option would be to buy from only local manufacturers if you live in an area where poaching is not a problem. Thank you for your questions. And remember, this is Thai News. Here's to reporting for you.
That concludes this evening's news program. Join us tomorrow for another exciting news story. As always, this is Thai News. Here's to reporting to you.
Say, who's got trouble?
We got trouble.
How much trouble?
Too much trouble.
Well, now, don't you frown. Just knuckle down and knock on wood. Who's unhappy?
We're unhappy.
How unhappy?
Too unhappy.
That won't do. When you are blue, just knock on wood.